Today we're going to be talking about why the opinion of others doesn't matter, okay? And so this is something that everyone in my generation specifically struggles with, caring a lot what other people think and trying to appease them when in reality they don't care about your life, okay? I've experienced this throughout my entire life, okay? I've lived in 9 different countries. I've seen guys and girls change, switch, become different people, and all of them, they have a certain view of who you are, okay? And if you try and appease people based on what they think you are, um, you will just find yourself spiraling into a life that you don't like, okay? And most of the time, people think that other people care about them so much, especially if you're a guy and you pass the age of 18. No one really cares. They just have opinions of you, okay? So you have to understand that the opinions of others may be relevant if they care about you, but most of the time, 1 or 2 people, if you're lucky, care about you, and it's usually your family, all right? So how do we get over this fear of being judged by others? The biggest way is to face it, all right? Guys, you gotta face it and you gotta just rub it in people's faces, okay? If a person says they don't like that you're going to the gym too much, that, like every time they see you, they start talking about how you always go to the gym, you're addicted to the gym, you're weird, you say, yeah, I am. And because people, they want reactions out of you. People indirectly search for emotional reactions to try and control you. So if you just are authentically yourself, it's quite hard for people to read you, okay? So if, you, like for me, this whole social media stuff, right? People who knew me before, they were telling me, oh, David, you've changed a lot. You're not the same as you were before. You know who you are. And this is the problem, right? Because people think that you should remain the same for the rest of your life because you want to be predictable, okay? People want to predict what you do, okay? It's just human nature. People want to see familiarity. So if all of a sudden your friend does something completely different that he's never done, you're going to say it's a bad thing. But in reality, everyone changes, okay? Everyone changes, everyone develops different views on life. So you yourself should be okay with change, and you should be okay with showing people your change, right? And so the people who try and hold you down to your previous lower self are always coming out of insecurity of themselves, okay? So if you are, all of a sudden making more money than someone, if you're getting stronger than someone, if you are just living your own life and getting better, and they start hating on you because, they think it's weird, they think it's cringe, they don't like it, it's coming from themselves saying, oh wow, I can't believe he has the audacity to change and be different, when it's kind of impossible for me to do that myself, okay? And so they try and project to try and bring you back, right? A great example of this is in college, right? If I don't know how many people or what my age range is of these YouTube videos, but if you're in college, you're going to be at one point pressured to drink, okay? And so you can go drinking and your friends or whoever you hang out with are going to love you. But the second you say no, right? And I experienced this myself. The second you say no, people are like, "Why not? Why are you not drinking? You're weird for not drinking. You're a loser for not drinking. Only losers don't they stay sober. You got to go out and you have fun or whatever." And understand there's a certain point where that's okay. That makes sense. But the whole root of that is they want you to join in on their degenerative activities because it makes them feel better about themselves. If they see that someone else is doing something that is the right thing, they want to bring you to, the dark side, right? They want to make you make that bad decision so it justifies their own, okay? And so, it may sound weird, but that's just how it is, right? And if you just tell people straight up, I don't want to go out because I don't feel like it or I don't want to, people are quite shocked. They're like, oh, well, that's weird. He doesn't care about what we have to say. And so That's how you kind of establish your own authentic self, and you detach yourself from the emotional investment you have in people that don't care about you, man. Especially when I was younger, I used to think that whatever people said to me was, to make me a better person or like to help me out. And I realized that almost no one is like that, especially in this world. So whenever people tell you to do things, whenever people ask you, or all these favors, they're always out of something to get from you, especially if they see that you're on a good path, right? So the best thing you can do for yourself is understand yourself first. Go watch one of my other videos on how to be your authentic self. And once you find out how to be your authentic self, then you can decide on what's best for you and what's not. Because until you continue going out with people you don't like, spending time with girls you don't like, doing things you don't like, working for people you don't like, it's very hard to change and become the real you, all right? And so don't think this takes 10 days or 20 days. It takes a long time because it takes reflection and it takes humility and accountability for your actions. And that's something a lot of people don't know how to do these days. But I know that if you're watching this video, you're kind of smart enough to understand what I'm saying. And if you've made it this far, you probably understand a little bit of how the game works and how you want to, you take yourself a little more seriously, all right? So that is the main aspect, guys. The main aspect is really discovering who you are and then deciding whether either the actions you're doing are fitting your goals or they're not, all right? Very simple, all right? Hope this video made a bit more sense. If you guys want some more videos, some more topics, feel free to put them in the comments and let me know what you guys like so I can make more of those videos, all right? Trust and follow, trust in yourself.